Hello everybody and welcome to part 9 of my Inca El Dorado series. Kind of. It's more like 8.75. I backed up just a little bit. There was a mistake I had made due to my lack of experience in chasing wonders. So here we are. It's turn 106, towards the end of part 8. We have finished education. It's pretty much the start of the turn. One thing I just wanted to call everybody's attention to, and I'm not sure why this is, but when it says Sidon got us a new unit, it's a Composite Bowmen. It was Pikeman the first time around, so I'm going to just move him in here and get this catapult back here. Yeah, and then we're going to go to our cities and start building the universities just as we would have before. Stop the amphitheater, start university. University 5 turns. This is very important because of what my motivation is, which I will get to momentarily. Cusco has grown. I think this was the turn. Yeah, farm was finished. So let's put that new guy right there. 4 and 4. That works out fantastically. And then what else? We got a yeah, we did switch to university here. So chop. That takes us down to 9. And then, just like before, we'll go ahead and do this because it expedites the university without actually slowing down our growth. So, here is the mistake that I feel that I made. And that is after education. In fact, if you guys allow me just another second, I want to take a step back and revisit the subject of tunnel vision. A lot of people say, you know, you gotta go for National College first thing, you gotta get your universities up, you gotta get into Renaissance so you can unlock Rationalism. And those are great goals, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but as you can see from this particular game thus far, we got to National College pretty roundabout. And, you know, I later found out you don't have to have engineering to get the free aqueducts. So, I mean, I don't regret getting this extra trade route, so in that sense I might have still gone this way, but I only went here so that when we finished Rationalism I'd have the aqueducts. I didn't realize you didn't need engineering, so but also like optics and stuff. So we've taken our time, but we've got such amazing growth that we've been able to afford that detour, such as we've been talking about going into Renaissance by way of astronomy, and I still want to, but I want to go with guilds first, again for the purpose of wonder chasing. Now we already know that England is trying to build Machu Picchu in York. They don't have the hammers for it, but you know, you never know. Maybe they catch up, or maybe somebody else, you know, starts building it, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's something I wanted to do, because the other thing to keep in mind is if we win astronomy first, then what would we do? Come back to guilds? I mean, the only cities we have that can build guilds or observatories are the same one that can build Machu Picchu. So we would have a crammed up build queue, which is why I wanted to bring attention to the fact that the city's only going to take 5 turns to finish its university, because then we can get started on Machu Picchu. So that's the reason I wanted to do that. If you count it out though, 10 plus 10 is 18, and we have another policy coming in 14 turns. Now do keep in mind we've got universities going up everywhere, in this city, even though it is the last university to come up probably, also has this jungle tile. So our science is going to be ramping up pretty hardcore over the next, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever turns. And if it turns out to be this little side jog to guilds ends up being a problem, we can temporarily stop working El Dorado. So all we got to do is keep an eye on that, and we should be golden. So anyways, enough of the jibber jabber. Most of this is just redoing the last few turns of part 8, so let me just, you know, hop to all of that. It's not my intention to actually change anything other than, you know, taking a little side track for the guild's technology. And then also too, another advantage of going guilds is that we can then get started on the Artist Guild earlier if we so desire. Obviously, we probably wouldn't chase that right away, because right away we're going to be facing a conundrum of, you know, culture versus science, which is normal. In fact, I would even go so far as to argue that the closer these two are together, the better you're playing. That's always been my bias. It doesn't mean I'm right, but always been my bias. So before we move this guy, I've been meaning to like rename this guy Eyeballs, because he's the one with the scouting promotion. Okay, yeah, so we reveal the basin and we know this guy no longer has a reason to go up here, come down here, so he can just plain back up and get to safety, and then we'll heal up. Alright, we'll get back to our great work of writing, which lands in Olan. That was by design, because this is the city we would like our borders to grow in the most. It's a cramped city, we're sharing borders, so all the tiles we can grab, all the better. Florence desires Hagia Sophia, and we are trespassing in Yerevan, which we have alleviated. We do have gems showing as being extra, but of course we're trying to keep our happiness maxed so that we can trigger that golden age in the wake of completing Chichen Itza. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a brief moment there. Okay, so we are done chopping down the forest here, so now we can get back to actually developing growth. This guy's going to just get parked in the capital, and that is everything. Pardon me. Okay, let's see here. We have a border growth. Not terribly interested. Boarding party works. Damn, this camp is a force to reckon with. You know, I'm looking more and more forward to my next game. We had such an explosive start, it's almost unfair, especially with the way the Raging Barbarians is keeping my opponents down. I can't wait to change the settings to turn Raging Barbarians off, as well as put the map size back up to large. But I do want to see this through, and that's part of the reason why I'm permitting myself to take a step back like this, because you guys are pretty darn supportive with the rewind, which I really appreciated. Oh, cool, we actually got through. I didn't know if we'd have to take a side jog or not. But yeah, I did appreciate that. And then, let's see. Should we trespass again? Yes. Take a more direct route. Because really, the only thing that's going to change is how soon we can get started on Machu Picchu. I don't know if we would have failed if we went the roundabout way like I was going before. Let's see here. Mountains. Okay, there it is. Machu Picchu is now available. Yeah, I think we should step on the hill here. I don't like that this guy's potentially going to get in our way. I know there's a pass through here. Let's see. So we grow in this tile. Whoops. I meant to actually claim that for this city when we locked in that tile there. So we just lost out on one hammer in this city. Hopefully it doesn't make a difference. Can't imagine that it would. It's not like me to miss such things. Okay, so guilds are done, and we will start with Compass. Now, as far as starting Machu Picchu, obviously the university is very important, so we're going to do that first. We are going to finish it up in this city, and I just want to call attention to the fact, since we did finish the tech, notice that Machu Picchu is not even listed here. The reason for that is because Kalish does count as a mountain when it comes to things like observatories, but not when it comes to wonders like Neuschwanstein and Machu Picchu come to mind. I don't know if there's others. I do think both those wonders specify a tile within a mountain within 2 tiles, which we have 3 of them in fact, but none of them are in our cultural borders. That's why it's not showing up as a list. So what this means is we are actually going to have to buy a mountain tile. Now it's not as bad as it sounds, because there is this sheep over here because we settled correctly, so if we buy this mountain we'll later be able to buy the sheep tile. It just really sucks that in the city we've had to buy almost every single tile that's worthwhile. So Alrighty, roadie's done with the bridge, so we're just going to go back here. Let's see. You've got to turn left, so we're just going to stay there. I never did interrupt. I'm looking at this spy, or this this scout here. We'll move here, and then we can get out of their way, so they can leapfrog us. Because we have open borders with them, but we don't have open borders with Sweden. And once this guy finishes up, we're going to want to come over here. It'd be nice if he wasn't bouncing around in this very small cage. I don't know why he didn't try to get open borders, but let's try for him, shall we? 1 gold per turn. I can live with that to, you know, make it to where my worker moves easily. Okay, that's pretty nice. The roads were already built, so we get to have a nice vantage point. Hopefully we can get to this hill, heal up, get out of their way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's just silly. That is silly. I must really want to citrus. Does the AI ever buy tiles? I honestly don't know. That'd be interesting to look into. I don't know how one would be able to determine that. But it is Golden Age time, which means now we are in a position to dump our excess happiness. 6 and 1, we'll just do that because it can't slow it down. Alright, Golden Age. First of all, let's deal with the horses here.
Ah, välkommen.
Yep, it wants more than 1.
Gärna det.
Nice. Get down with your bad self. And now we have a gem to sell off. And I think going forward, I am going to change the way I handle selling luxuries. I think generally speaking, I'm going to start favoring the bottom of the list. Let the underdogs compete, because I don't know how the AI handles happiness. I know they start off with more at higher difficulties, but I think that would be a catch-up mechanism. In this case, though, I'm going to trade with him specifically, because if it is helpful to him, he's our neighbor on the other side of Poland, so keeping him, you know, strong might help in that regard. So let's go ahead and populate the university. We have 3 turns here. Okay. I want to get straight into Artist Guild. Oh, we still don't have the stables in this city. Whoops. Okay, so let's build the stables. That'll be... Whoops, I guess I moved as if I only had 4 movement points. Okay, so we'll come down here. Okay. Can we get to there? We can. So we can just heal up right there. We're still in borders and all that good stuff. And there's the English scout, so she can play leapfrog over us. This guy is in our borders. Hopefully he doesn't get in this guy's way, because... Oh, nice! Rhodey has another turn to go on this, so that means he can't get in our way. Sure. Oh, now he's in this guy's way. But this guy's not ready to move just yet. He will be next turn. There we go. Okay. Faith time. Alright, so pagodas. We'll start in this city. Same reason as the Great Work and the amphitheater. We want those borders growing. T1 grows to the other production tile. Cusco grows just in time to populate the university. So there's that. Crab is available. We can take a lump sum, and this is the turn that we have 1,000 gold. Oh yeah, because we wanted to. Alright, so crab there. We'll take the lump sum. It's weird that we're getting this lump sum in the same term. We would have been able to just spend 1,000 gold on a city-state. Florence seeks investors. Okay, we wanted to pay Wellington because they have spices. We have a city that wants spices. We have a city-state we're already allied with, but about to lose that wants spices. So this not only ensures that we get Wellington, but also that we keep Panama City. And of course, since Wellington wants copper, we're going to have copper come back at some point, and then so both of these mercantile City-states are ours. That's going to be good for food across the empire. And here we go. We're starting to get a little closer to the cutoff, so we have a clearer picture of what's going on here. Looks like 8 versus 6. And we'll keep looking at that as more universities come online. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Do we have a tile we needed to buy? Oh, right! Because, okay. Alright. Yeah, see? No Machu Picchu. Oh, wow, it's only 110 gold now. It was 145 before. That's what it was. Okay, I meant to do this before paying the city-state. Whew! If it hadn't been for that crab, we would have paid the city-state and then missed out on this. So this way we don't. And now Machu Picchu is an option. So there we go. We're going to grow in 7, says Machu Picchu in 8. We will have a worker chop down forest in the meantime, so maybe that's more like 7. Well, that remains to be seen. Alright, cargo ship is done feeding Machu, so we're going to go ahead and relocate it to Machu, so now we can start feeding Olan. And again, that's just because, you know, university comes up, we'll be pulling a couple citizens off these tiles. We're going to get a terrace farm up here, so the city will have more workable tiles at a time. It's missing out on some of the people that can work those tiles. Okay, let's head up on the hill, and the pass-through is clear, so that works out nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is everything going on this turn. Okay. Yeah, I sat there and told myself, you know, don't bankrupt yourself, don't bankrupt yourself. Spices connected to the great city. Alright, compass is finished, so this means Galeas Harbor, gold from the water tiles, and another trade route. And that other trade route is going to be pretty nice. In fact, let's see, 7 turns. This city, once it's done building the stables, well, okay, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. We finished a university here, so let's do this. There we go. And let's select our text so that we can actually see the turns go down if they do. Looks like this time it did not. How long would it take this city to build the caravan? Oh wait, no, we want to build a cargo ship, don't we? No, we want to build, because we got to feed T1 first. Okay. This can build a caravan in 2, and this can build a caravan in 2. So let's just build it here. Get it out of the way. Let the capital focus on the stuff it's been missing out on. And there we go, another farm there, so we're growing 3, still growing 3, but that's okay. Let's see here. Artist Guild, Temple, National Epic. Yeah, so there's a number of things that we would want to build here. Okay, so let's go ahead and feed Olan, and now it's down to 5, which is really nice. And this guy's freed up. Sweden Scout is not on our way. That was a little touch and go for a second there. And let's see, he'll finish here next turn. So next turn, 2 turns, start terrace farm. Next turn, 2 turns, start terrace farm. So both of these workers can start the terrace farm at the same time. So I'm just going to have this, I'm just going to have Rhodey, or Terrence work on a not Terrence farm. He'll be sad, but he'll be just fine, I think. Okay, we got through that, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we pass our turn. So we gotta keep an eye on this. The real moment of truth is gonna be this coming turn, because our final university goes up. There we are. Okay. And yeah, that's the worker in here. So now we have a clear picture of what the land looks like. Let's put those floaters into the university. We're down to 5 turns. We're off by 1 turn. And then we also want to make sure we drop some of our hammers. Frowny face. Okay, but at least at least we grow again in 2 fewer turns. So that is helpful. We don't want to build the amphitheater right now because we're actually trying to shrug. Let's go for temple because it will be finished first. After astronomy, we'll probably go for workshop. So this lines up nicely. We'll do this and then the amphitheater, and then we can get into a workshop in the city probably. I do want to still build the garden, but I don't want to lose sight of what's important. Speaking of which, let's see, 5 and 4. What we can do is we can go ahead and switch this off right now. We did just buy a pagoda, so the lack of faith gain is going to be okay for a second. And as you can see, that lines that up. And then we can test every single turn, put that back, see if it changes, and go from there. Because it is true that our cities can still grow in the meantime, but I think that's going to be relatively meaningless compared to the university and the specialist slots and stuff like that. So let us keep our eye on the prize in that regard. Okay, so we could build the Artist Guild in 3 turns, and we don't want to ramp up our culture yet. So let's use this opportunity to fit in a temple here. Since the faith that's one of my regrets this series, is I didn't take faith gain seriously enough. It's an old habit. Oh, I'm going to get it for free here, and then the Pantheon, I can just ignore it while I build other stuff. And yeah, that's very true, but in terms of late game science, you know, growth is number 1, like raw science, like libraries and stuff like that is number 2, then culture and faith as well, and not so much gold. And I often prioritize markets, and that's because I'm habitually a Liberty player, where gold is more fleeting. So anyways, the reason I'm coming down here is because we already know that we're going to grow here. The governor's finally going to pick up a tile we would actually like to work. But for now, this is a hill river, so we'll do that because this is the next opportunity for a 2 food, 2 hammer. I suppose I should have looked at this first. Yeah, this tile's a lot cheaper and better yield initially. However, we are building Machu Picchu, so chopping down this forest is pretty useful. So let's just try it this way instead. Yeah, there's going to be a logistics of, oh, he comes here, then he goes here, then he goes over here, and then, you know, what? Who knows? But you know, that's something we can deal with as we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's nice that the scouts are finally going to be wrapping things up, kind of, because we do have units that are just sitting around for the visibility. So we'll be able to swap them out, and of course caravels are coming up, so hopefully we'll actually find some bodies of water and stuff and have reasons to embark and such. Anyways, here we go. We can finally get the city connection established. That didn't take long. Yep, it is complete. It won't register until we pass. So this guy's working in the capital. This guy is going to be working up here. And I kind of want to double up over here because we are missing out on this good growth tile. We're about to expand here. He can go take care of that. And this city just dropped its growth, you know, into production. In fact, before I forget, was this the turn that we took it off? Yeah, it was. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Anyway, so what I'm thinking is maybe have this guy come over here. We can do that. And the reason for that is because once we're done putting these farms up, this guy could probably come down here and put up a trading post, since we are working that tile anyways and we already have guilds. And as you know, that particular improvement takes forever. It's like that worker doesn't exist for a period of time. So having our extra worker be in Tijuana, I think makes sense because it kind of offsets that. Okay, it looks like it's all horses and iron. We will sell to him first for the reasons I mentioned before. Now see, this is like a sticky situation for me because Washington is also our neighbor, and he was a little touchy in the early game. I think I would rather arm him.
All right.
Simply because he's less volatile than Poland. On the other hand, the Ottomans are at war with them, and just as I suspected, it doesn't look like that's panning out to anything. We can check the military score. The Ottomans are going down. Wow. I mean, America did too. So, yeah, that's what we like to see. We like to see standing militaries get whittled down. But ideally, it would have been nice to see the Ottomans succeed in like taking Boston or something, weakening Washington so that we can ignore him just a little bit more. I hate those quests asking for bullying. Alright, so let's see, we got 4 turns. Let's get up a shrine here. Let's go ahead and check this out. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. So that 1 turn of missing out on the 5. Well, I guess it's a little more than 5. We are in a golden age. Looks like that's all that it needed to be. And we'll continue to check on that every turn, but looks like it's going to be just fine. So we'll come up and do that terrace farm there. Now the caravan that we just finished is meant to feed T1. And now that we have all of our roads built, I suspect it's possible, whoops, wrong button, that Machu can feed T1. So let's investigate that. Machu to T1, and this is why, the religious pressure, right? Because this is what's, you know, this is our exposed city, the one that's closer to the center of the landmass, and we do have 2 competing religions around us. You can see not all of our followers are our own, and Machu simply can't get in on that action without a trade route. And now that the roads are finished, we can accomplish that. So let's go do that. Okay, you can cross the river here. We're about to grow our border, so we might as well move, whoops, move that guy there, because now we no longer need him to be able to see this tile and stuff. So yeah, we'll come here, and then here, that clips that. Next turn we come up here, that clips that. Nice. Alright, so we'll step down here because she's in the way a little bit, just a little bit. We can go 4 there because we could see that it was safe to do so. Alrighty, is that everything for the time being? It does appear to be. So there we go. We will go ahead and pass there. Sure, why not? Oh, look at that. Somebody's building Oracle. I had considered trying that in the capital and timing it. I just assumed we'd be late. This isn't particularly a high production city. Well, she is on a hill. It's 4 hammers there. It's probably just too late. It really is unfortunate though, because if we could have succeeded and like timed it to finish up right when we hit Renaissance, that would have been pretty sweet. We'd have gotten straight into Rationalism opener and then our actual policy to choose like secularism. Maybe I should have tried that. I mean, we're working on important stuff anyways, so I have no regrets there. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here though. Okay, so now it looks like we're probably cleared to build the Artist Guild. We'll grow at about that time, so we'll have 2 people for it. Moving forward, like developing these plains farms was pretty important early on because it was the only food we got. But now we have 3 trade routes going into the capital. There's lots of things we'd like to build, and we hit civil service. So now working these tiles just don't seem as necessary as working these production tiles, because we are production focused. So every time we grow, we like snag one of these, and leaving them as floaters like this has been working out really well. So like when the guild is finished, I'll probably pull this guy in like one of these and then just let it grow back, and we can experiment with these tiles as we go, if we need more production or, you know, whatever, something like that. But anyways, let's get that Artist Guild up, because once we do hit Renaissance, we're going to want to slam as much culture out as we can.
Good day.
Looks like Washington wants even more iron.
Proceed.
And that's okay. Not going to build Angkor Wat. We are buying lots of tiles and I still have no interest. Alright, so we did lose Sidon, but there will come a point in time. 19 turns, that's unfortunate. We are patronage, but I think the reason for the decay rate is this right here, the hostile. I know before when I first chose, I was like, why is it doing this? That's why. And there we go. We can send it to T1, and now that's really nice because there's even more pressure we're getting on that. And of course, once we hit religious text, that should go up even more. Alright, so we'll build a terrace farm there. Scout can come down here. Alright, looks like nothing's going on with that silly war, so Unfortunate. Just have him defend up. I suppose it's probably more important that he can see these. Okay, yeah, because a camp can't spawn there, and if one spawns there, it's more likely to go there. So this is a better placement of that swordsman. Also, I almost missed this. Let's go ahead and buy that tile. And then finish the chopping. Did not speed it up by a turn, but it could be that when we grow 3 and, you know, the production focus, that might be the tipping point. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. We only got a few more turns to, like, check it out. And, of course, we'll keep an eye on this. It's 2 and 2, so we only have to pay attention to that for one more turn. Next turn. Don't want to lose sight of that. Alright, 2 turns until... oh, wow. Okay. I was going to build a trireme before it was saying 2 turns. Now it's just saying 1. And the reason for that is because our other trireme's way over here somewhere. He's not going to be a caravel anytime soon. So let's just get out a second one. The 2 of them should clean up all the water pretty quickly since this is just a standard size map. Which again, in the future, I will do differently. Alright, looks like he's in the way of our full movement here. So we could come around here or we could just wait a turn. Well, let's go get some extra visibility. We didn't have lighthouses before. Obviously, this is kind of meaningless since we are on the brink of caravels. They can clear up things a lot quicker. Step up on the hill. Nice. Okay, so we should be able to come here and keep on testing all that out, which leaves this guy free to do this north little chunk. And quite honestly, that looks like it's probably a city tile. I hate leaving one hex like that, and that's literally like the worst possible scenario as to why that would be. Let's not overlook the fact that somebody wants to buy even more horses. He's starting his own something. Yeah, okay, so 2 and 2 will pass, and then just verify that it's 1 and 1. Uh-oh. Oh, look at that. We would not have made it in time because I would have been timing it for next turn. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm glad I didn't go for it. You know, this is actually somewhat nerve-wracking. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. The whole, do I go for this wonder, do I go for that wonder? Part of me would have, like, preferred just sticking to my way. I mean, Hanging Garden, yeah, that was an absolute one. The fact that we didn't have competition for, or didn't seem to have competition for Colossus, I don't mind that one. Great Lighthouse is iffy. The fact that we're using our boats for scouts, I don't regret that. Chichen Itza, now we're getting more closer to the regret aspect of things. Machu Picchu, though, will definitely be worth pursuing, assuming we can finish it. I gotta have that caveat in there. Let's see. We got 1 turn till astronomy, so let's just go ahead and pre-build a temple, and then we'll switch it over next turn. We already addressed that. T1. Oh wait, did we have a? No, we did not. T1 grew as well, so we'll. That actually drops it down to 5. Nice. Okay. What else do we got? Can no longer. Yeah. Okay. Well, I forgot about the city-state thing, but that's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little bit extra visibility. We'll come back and upgrade to Caravel next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm glad we were able to see that far. Oh, it's because we're allies with Wellington. Oh my goodness, if we weren't allies, we wouldn't have been able to... Holy crap, this is like a parking lot. Okay, well, good thing we are. Nice. Okay, that's a good break in the coverage. I like that. Okay, we'll get through here. Okay, it's working out. 1 and 1. So we managed to do that much. And then after that, we're going to be 1 turn away from Machu Picchu. In Machu, I might add. Should I just name that city Picchu?
Joyfully to the breeze. Royal Odysseus.
Okay, astronomy is here. New era is here. So let us address that first. We'll come down here. We will upgrade to Caravel. Okay. Next, we will go ahead and switch production in the city to observatory. Alright. We will go ahead and open up Rationalism. Nice. Spy has been recruited. It's pretty much the end of this segment. I'll go one more turn to see if we get Machu Picchu. I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. But I'm just throwing him in Cusco for this reason right here. We are just killing the science game. People, if they're smart, will definitely want their spies in our city. Let's go ahead and move it here. It does look like the growth into production focus did not... You know, I wonder where we'd be right now if I had finished this hill. Because, you know, that's however many citizens we'd have. One extra hammer. That might have been Machu Picchu this turn. So if we get scooped right now... I was thinking about that throughout, like how I didn't finish this hill. It's different in this city, obviously, because we had the gold. Different in this city because we had the copper and this gold here. But when I played Liberty, I made it a point to have one really good production tile in every city just for that reason. Okay, let's switch to metal casting so we can get workshops up after the things we're trying to accomplish right now. We finished the Artist Guild here, so let's go ahead and do that. This is obviously going to be growth in one no matter what, so we'll do that. Get that culture rolling as quickly as possible. Let's see here. As far as everything that's down there, none of it is particularly interesting right now. We have one turn until we're going to build workshops, and we also have Caravel coming online. So you know what? Let's take this turn to just build a pikeman. Before we had been gifted a pikeman and we had a blocker over here, and while I don't know how necessary that was... Oh, look at this rat. He took our grasslands. Well, that's what happens. Luckily neither one of our governors are going to grab at that anytime soon, but that's unfortunate. I don't particularly care for flat grasslands, so it's not, I'm not, you know, heartbroken or anything like that. In this city, let us go ahead and finish the amphitheater, and then we can, of course, switch over to the workshop after it's completed. Here we will get to an observatory next turn. And in this case, I think I probably will end the video at the beginning of the turn. I don't normally do that, but the only reason I'm not ending it this turn is so that I don't leave you guys on a cliffhanger. Let's see if we can just cut through there, and we can. Burka is here. Okay. It's like the only two sources of marble that I've seen here that I can recall. She wants horses, so let's not pass before we do that. Okay. Moment of truth. Is this just Machu or is it Machu Picchu? 109 gold per turn. It is ours. That's really great, because these are tall cities. So, yeah. What did we finish here? Oh, the pikemen. That's right. I'll just go ahead and set this up, because we know that's what we're going to want. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it at this. I just wanted to get us to... I mean, it's okay that we ran over because this is kind of like a cliffhanger. I didn't want to leave that there, especially since the whole reason I did a little step back was to go for guilds first. And as you can see, it worked out, not just because we completed it successfully, but now the city that was building that is freed up to build an observatory, which is obviously very important. The fact that we took that side jog was not punished, and it only required us to give up El Dorado for one turn. Even if it was like 3 turns, a drop in the bucket. Because look at what we get as a result. We get this extra gold now, so that's really great. And that's the other reason I don't mind going a little over, because we did take that step back. So thank you guys for being supportive in that regards. I'm learning a lot here, and it's a bit of a struggle for me because back when I used to play Civ 5, I kind of got into it and I like to learn about this and that, but I tend not to remember things that don't apply to my life too heavily. And then there came a point where like I was getting really serious, so I started learning more of the intricacies, and I'm kind of there now. Like on the side I am watching like Filthy Robot videos, and it's making me realize things I could have done better in the early game in this game, stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. So this series has been a little nerve-wracking as far as trying to acclimate so much new information all at once. But I should come out the other side a better player and perhaps play future maps a little more effectively. So we all win. That said, I do appreciate. I hate taking this little step back so soon after a rewind, but I hope that you agree that it's worth it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.